Well, this is intense, isn't it? There are about 5 minutes to go. It is totally hanging by a thread. But Arsenal have turned it around at the Stadium of Light. I thought what we could do is go live for the final few minutes of this game. We can watch it together because if Arsenal manage to keep hold, if Arsenal manage to secure the 3 points here, it will be a huge statement and so deflating for Manchester City and Liverpool who face off tomorrow. They know that they are chasing Arsenal. They know that Arsenal are the favourites. They would be looking at Arsenal's fixtures and they would see this very game as the kind of fixture where it could go a little bit wrong for Arsenal. Then they're 1-0 down at half-time. Deservedly 1-0 down. I mean, Arsenal had their moments. I thought Trossard was brilliant. But ultimately, Sunderland were well worthy of their lead at half-time. But ultimately, I mean, the way that they've come out in the second half, Arsenal, they've been brilliant. And do you know what? Do you know what we always say? I was watching the first half with my mate, who is an Arsenal fan. I basically said this is an opportunity for Arsenal. Now, you're 1-0 down away from home, playing in November in the Stadium of Light. You're playing away from home against Sunderland in a must-win game in November, a 5:30 kickoff under the lights against an informed Sunderland team, a Sunderland team who do not concede many goals at all. Let's see if Arsenal are about that life. Let's see if Arsenal can make it happen. Let's see if Arsenal are capable of making it happening. What is going on here? Let us see. Oh, Sunderland are on the attack. Oh, my... Yeah! Yes! Oh, my God! Everything that I was just about to say has almost been eradicated. I was about to say, are Arsenal... Oh, it's gone to VAR, I think. Oh my God, I was about to say, if Arsenal are capable of hanging on, then this is the type of result that makes them champions. This is the type of result that means that they can win the league. This is the type of result that is going to send fear and trepidation and all sorts of ill feeling into Man City, into Pep Guardiola, into Arne Slot, into anyone associated with Liverpool. But if Sunderland have somehow got a point, I mean, that was just an unbelievable goal. Is it going to stand? It is going to VAR now. I can barely cope with this. This is absolutely bonkers. What a goal that was, by the way. What a finish. What on earth is happening? This moment that we are now living, together, on some level, this could define the title race. Everything that we are witnessing in this very second, this could be about to define the title race. Leandro Trossard's goal could have been the major indicator. That could have been the moment that set everything apart. That could have been the moment, the differentiator. When you win the league, you can always trace it back. I can tell you that Aaron Mokoena fouling Arjen Robben, that game, that goal is what won us the league. Every team that has ever won the league, you can always trace it back to a particular moment. And that Leandro Trossard goal, away at Sunderland in a tricky game, when Liverpool and Man City are about to face off against one another 24 hours later, that is the exact kind of result that wins you the league. This is still at VAR. What is going on? Is this goal going to define a season? What is he doing here? I can barely cope with this. Is this goal going to stand? I mean, what a hit. You don't really want to rob him of a goal of that quality. Does this goal stand? Does this goal... Yeah! Oh my God, the title race has just been blown well and truly open. What a moment. What a goal. Sunderland, they deserve so much credit. What a manager. What a club. And this could actually be it. This could be a defining moment of the season. I mean, Leandro Trossard's rocket felt like that was going to be it. It felt like that was game, set and match. It felt like Sunderland didn't have enough about them, didn't have enough resilience, and it felt like Arsenal don't concede any goals. How on earth are you meant to do anything to this Arsenal team? How on earth are you supposed to tell me that this Arsenal team, are they going to lose the game? They don't concede any goals. Suddenly, the game has finished 2-2. I mean, Brian Broby, what an unbelievable goal. I can't believe what we are witnessing here. I cannot believe what we are witnessing. This is the sort of pulsating, outrageously brilliant approach to football that we want. This is the jeopardy, the ebb and flow, the natural sway of a football match that the Premier League has been missing out on so many times. This is it. I mean, I cannot believe what we have seen here. What have we seen? That was just an unbelievable goal. and the goal stands. There was a moment where I thought it was going to be ruled out. Obviously, we were looking. It's taken ages for us to find out. But I tell you what, that was... this is it, isn't it? This is it. This is exactly the kind of goal, the kind of moment. I mean, there's still... Are Arsenal now going to nick it? I'll tell you what, if Arsenal score now, they win the league. If Arsenal, off the back of this ebb and flow of a Premier League game, can somehow find a winner... I mean, I tell you what, I don't know what happened with that goal. I mean, were Arsenal... Who do you blame for that? Were Arsenal guilty? Did they drop too deep? Did they manage the game properly? I mean, the fact that Arsenal players were appealing for that high foot, it all felt so desperate. But I tell you what, he's punished Gabriel, punished Raya. They got in a terrible pickle there. I mean, I thought it was just a great volley. A great acrobatic volley. That, my friend, is football. Oh my God, that is football. Do you know what? The buzz, the adulation, the moment, the drama that comes from a goal like that. Sunderland desperate, forcing everything. 7 minutes of stoppage time in the 93rd minute. Arsenal have had moments, they've had time to clear the ball. It's delicately hoofed into the box. Oh, it's just an amazing goal. It is just spectacular. David Raya at fault. I think Gabriel is at fault as well. But Arsenal dropped so deep, they were scared of Sunderland. Everything about Arsenal is about pressing. Zubimendi, Declan Rice, it's all about pressing. It's all about getting out. It's all about pressing on the front foot. Leandro Trossard, too deep. Declan Rice, too deep. Oh my God, and it is over. It is over. It is finished. Sunderland 2, Arsenal 2. The title race. The title race that I said would have major twists and turns to come. The title race that I said had many, many angles to come. Many ups and downs, many twists and turns. Can Arsenal win the league still? 100% yes. Are Arsenal favourites for the league still? 100% yes. Are Arsenal capable of going on another amazing run? Absolutely yes. But is there jeopardy? Is there a chance that Sunderland do damage to Arsenal's credentials? Is there a chance that Sunderland do major damage to the credentials? Do you know what? I was on TalkSport. Yes, I was on TalkSport with Flex yesterday. He totally dismissed my suggestion that this game finishes a draw. I'm texting him now and I'm telling him I want a public apology. I want a public tweet acknowledging my prediction. I knew that there was jeopardy in this game. I knew that Sunderland were capable. I knew that Sunderland were capable. It's such a difficult place to go, and that is why, on some level, this is a good result for Arsenal. I know that Arsenal fans will feel incredibly deflated off the back of that. I know that Arsenal fans will feel heartbroken off the back of that. I know that Arsenal fans will be incredibly upset with everything that they have seen. When you drop 3 points, when you come from behind away from home and you drop 3 points in the last minute, conceding to a goal like that, a goal that potentially could have been ruled out for a high foot, I guess. It's going to break your heart. But I do have a reason here why Arsenal should be happy. Ultimately, Stadium of Light, one of the hardest games that you will play, against one of the most resolute teams that you will play, against one of the most inspired teams that you will play, against one of the most stingy and miserly back lines that you will play. You got it out of the way and you didn't get beat. It isn't the end of the road for Arsenal. It isn't the end of the world for Arsenal at all. On some level, I don't even think it's a bad result. It's only a bad result in the context. Arsenal aren't going to win and win and win and win and win and win. There's going to be twists and turns to come. But, mate, that game, sometimes you need that. Sometimes you need a game like that, don't you? You know when you just sit down and you're like, that right there was a delectable medley of footballing splendour. That really was beautiful. Everything about it I liked. I like the chill in the winter air. I like the northeast low winter sun that welcomed the teams as they came out. I like the fact that it descended immediately into darkness. Stadium lights on full blast. I like the fact that there was a big rugged goal from a centre-half who formerly was at Arsenal, I believe, who put Sunderland 1-0 up. I like the Roker roar, the stand going mad. Then I like the away team scoring goals. Bukayo Saka looking up at the Arsenal fans. I saw footage of the Arsenal fans going potty in that away end, going wild in that away end. There is then the drama of a last-minute equaliser. That, my friends, is football. That is what it's all about. The drama, the jeopardy, the passion, the unpredictability. That is why we love football. We are all effectively chasing a buzz, aren't we? And that game showed us it all. 40% of the goals that Arsenal have conceded in all competitions have come in the last 90 minutes. That is something that Mikel Arteta really does need to look at. And now when you think about the weekend, think about what's happening tomorrow. The two biggest rivals to Arsenal's title hopes go head-to-head. And Arsenal sit 7 points clear of City, 8 clear of Liverpool, having played a game more. All it takes now is one more issue for Arsenal and there could be major, major problems. I mean, I don't think it's a terrible day for Arsenal. I really don't. I know that Arsenal fans watching this will be heartbroken. I know that Arsenal fans watching this will truly believe that they needed to win. You need to win on some level. You need to make the statement. They've got some very tough fixtures coming up after the international break. They know that their two major rivals are going head-to-head. There are many reasons why on some level Arsenal needed a win. But let's face it, Arsenal fans, you've got away to the Stadium of Light and you come away with a point. It's certainly not the end of the world. You went 1-0 down, you come away with a point. 3 would have been better, but it's not the end of the world at all. And I think what we need to do is acknowledge quite how brilliant Sunderland are, quite how brilliant Regis Lebris is, quite how brilliant some of those Sunderland players were. Because they, today, I thought, were basically perfect. I mean, there were a few weak performances, a few fairly flat performances, and a few lightweight performances. I tell you what, generally speaking, I liked it. I liked Xhaka. I liked Siddiqui. I liked Isandor. I liked the Sunderland side. I found that Lafay, I know he got taken off, but he's lightweight. Totally lightweight for the goal. I mean, Declan Rice. We talk about Bukayo Saka, and I spoke about Bukayo Saka scoring the goal and giving a salute to the Arsenal fans. But the goal was Declan Rice, wasn't it? Declan Rice's work rate, his just aggressively putting the defender under pressure, haranguing that Lafay, bullying that Lafay, forcing that Lafay to give up the issue. By the way, if you can hear any fireworks, it's because I don't know what's going on, but there's loads of fireworks going on somewhere. It must be Primrose Hill fireworks. It must be Primrose Hill. But look, I just thought that Sunderland generally were brilliant, like up for it. That Ronaldo, I thought he's brilliant on the front foot. Ballard, Geezer, full of it. I mean, I thought Rose should have saved the Saka shot, but ultimately it was a really good goal. And Leandro Trossard, he had the beating of that Hume, didn't he? The way Trossard uses his body, the way that he just glides past players. He's a beautiful footballer. Lovely little player, Leandro Trossard. And the goal that he scored, I thought was going to be the goal that Arsenal fans would look back on as the moment they won the league. You know that weird thing that you do as football fans? You can highlight the moment that you win the league. Like, I know Liverpool fans were telling me last year that when Liverpool won the league last year, they were highlighting the goals that were scored by Darwin Núñez at Brentford. That was the moment that they decided they won the league. I thought that the Leandro Trossard goal could have been the moment that... God, that is loud, isn't it? I'm sorry about the fireworks, man. Guy Fawkes and all that. Nathaniel Armstrong, the first super chat of the day has landed. And it says, thank you, Sunderland. Momentum for the pool, let's hope. Arsenal look fantastic so far, but Mystic Rory, you think today will be a big part of the season? Of course. Of course, today is a huge part of the season. Massive, enormous, almost unrivaled. Like, I honestly believe that if Arsenal had found a win today, it would have just been the statement. It would have set the tone. With your two rivals playing 24 hours later, you go and win a difficult away tie. You go and show that you are flawless. You symbolically move, 10 points clear? You go into double digits clear? Even if it's just for 24 hours, there is a statement in that. And it would have played on the mind of Pep Guardiola. It's symbolic. It's symbolic. When Liverpool fans are going to the game tomorrow and they're looking at the Premier League title, they're looking at the dream of retaining a Premier League title, they're looking at the table, and they see that Arsenal are 10 points clear, double digits. It's difficult, man. Has an impact. Suddenly, it just doesn't feel quite as stark as that, does it? Doesn't feel quite as problematic. You know, a game in hand, when you see somebody sitting 7 points above you, but you have a game in hand. 4 points. You win your game in hand, 4 points. Could be a big day. And do you know what we will learn? We will learn exactly who Arsenal are off the back of this. When we come back off the international break, in the same week, they play Tottenham, they play Bayern Munich, they play Chelsea. They take 9 points out of that, or even 7 points out of that. They're laughing. They beat Tottenham, say they batter Tottenham, say they give Tottenham a hiding. Statement win. Say Tottenham nick a point off them though. See the problem? Then Bayern, even if they beat Bayern, there's no real jeopardy in that Champions League. Everybody's going to progress. Then they play us. Now, we're kicking off in a minute. I've got it on there. But we're capable of doing damage to Arsenal, but we are capable of being battered by Arsenal. Like, it could be a Pochettino 5-0, or it could be a Jose Mourinho 6-0. Like, I don't know. So we are going to learn exactly who Arsenal are over the forthcoming weeks. Into the super chat, I must go, EIEIEIO. And it's Christian who says, fair play to Sunderland as an Arsenal fan. We have no striker. Arteta didn't change it up, but we're clear still. City and Liverpool still need favours. You're absolutely right. And do you know what, Christian? The point that you make there, you know the cushion that you've built up? The cushion that you've built up, you've worked very hard to build that cushion up. You think of the way that you've built that cushion up, the performances that you've put in to earn that cushion. Going to St James's Park and winning, for example, is part of the fact that you have a cushion. When you earn a cushion, the cushion is earned for today, for days like today, right? The reason that you'd go, well, we need a 6-point cushion, we need an 8-point cushion, is because you know that you might go away to the Stadium of Light and end up dropping points. It's not beyond the realms of recognition that you can obviously drop points at a stadium like the Stadium of Light. Very difficult place to go. You're playing an excellent team. You're playing a team that are on good form. You're playing a team that don't concede goals. You're playing a team that are on the up. You're playing a manager that is excellent, and you're playing a owner that is very ambitious. It's not the end of the world to drop points in that circumstance. It really isn't. If I said to an Arsenal fan, you're going to basically go, you're going to win, then you're going to draw at Sunderland. It's not bad. But the issue comes in the nature of it, conceding in the last minute like that. The nature of the goal. I'm going to be quite harsh here. There was an element towards Arsenal that you don't often see. There was a slightly cowardly element. They backed off. Like, tell me if I'm wrong here. This is why I love doing these lives. I love hearing your thoughts. I love you telling me if I am wrong. But I'm going to give you my opinion very quickly. Arsenal were so desperate to get the win. They knew that they were so close to the win that they backed off and they sat deep. Like, why was Trossard not pressuring the ball? Why did David Raya panic? Why did Gabriel get out-muscled? Where was the pressure on the ball? Like, Arsenal's brilliance is pressing on the front foot, moving further up the pitch, making sure that the game is being played in the opposite end of the pitch. You know, giving the opposition something to worry about. You know, Declan Rice on the front foot, Zubimendi on the front foot, Bukayo Saka on the front foot. Press them. They sat off. And even if you think about the goal that was scored, maybe Declan Rice could have done a bit more. The first goal, I'm talking about the first goal that was scored by Ballard, centre half. Like, you know, it was ironically from a set piece as well. Arsenal conceded from a set piece, didn't they? I know it wasn't directly, but it was like cross comes in, free kick comes in, second ball. Ultimately, Declan Rice wasn't pressing enough on Ballard. You know, I'm probably being very harsh here, but when you are as brilliant as Declan Rice is, in my opinion, the best in the world at what he does. In my opinion, the best in the world at his role, which is different to Caicedo, but at his role, he is the best in the world at what he does. When we say something as lavish as that, when I talk in those glowing terms, when I hold somebody to that level, Declan Rice is a world-class superstar. We need to judge him like a world-class superstar. And I don't think he did enough to stop Ballard scoring. Equally, the second goal, Arsenal was so deep. Did they back off? Am I being too harsh here? Like, let me know what you think. But in my opinion, I think that there is certainly a world where Arsenal backed off too much. And that could be a reason that they conceded. You know, watching that game, after Sunderland got the goal, I thought there was going to be another sort of final twist, but didn't come, finished 2-2. And it really, really was a brilliant game. And that result has now presented both Man City and Liverpool with an opportunity. I'm going to go back into the Super Chat now. We're going to talk to Nick Kingdom. Nick Kingdom, thank you very much for your Super Chat. So can I ask you all a quick favour? Please drop a like on this stream if you're enjoying it. It really does help me out. And if you are watching and you haven't clicked subscribe, again, please do click subscribe. Massively, massively helps me out. I'd love to welcome you into this community. Going to be going live loads, by the way. So see what you think. Nick Kingdom says, this is fantastic news and it leaves tomorrow's game versus Liverpool and City open to take and be even better if Liverpool win. It will be a statement win to say that Liverpool are back. Yeah, I think you're right, Nick. I think you're completely right. I mean, on one level, though, you could argue that Liverpool are already back. Beating Real Madrid is a suggestion that you're back. Beating Real Madrid off the back of beating Unai Emery's Aston Villa is a suggestion that you're already back. I agree that you're back to square one if you don't. You're back to square one if you lose to Man City. But I think on some level we are already seeing a world where where Liverpool are back. They're back looking good. They're back looking sharp. Arne Slot has got it working. Beating Real Madrid is massive. So if they can keep that moving forward, keep that intention, keep that midfield in the way that it is. Alexis McAllister playing with Dom Szoboszlai, playing with Ryan Gravenberch. Keep that engine secure. Get Florian Wirtz involved, coming in off Sadio Mane's old flank. Get him involved. Get him creating chances. Get him, hopefully, scoring goals. Then there is certainly a world where we could anoint Liverpool. But look, if Liverpool win tomorrow, they are undoubtedly back. Even if they don't win tomorrow, though. A draw tomorrow and it's still been a good week for Liverpool. Any week where you take 3 points against Unai Emery, beat Real Madrid and then take a point against Pep Guardiola can't be seen as a bad week. Although, maybe the rules have changed. That is the natural rule. But when you lose 4 games in a row, maybe the rules have changed. Maybe they do need a win. I think you're right, Nick Kingdom. Great super chat. Kyle in the super chat says, this was frustrating as hell. A brave 5-4-1 setup for Sunderland. I hope Craig Pawson's... Why cheats on him? Right, mate. What are you doing to me here? What are you doing to me? I mean, I think it was brave from Sunderland. Are you crazy? What do you expect Sunderland to do? You cannot seriously be having a problem at Sunderland. I mean, Sunderland play 5 at the back, 4 in the middle, and just Isidore on his own up front. You can't seriously be having a problem with that. What do you think Sunderland should do when they play Arsenal? I love this. I love how people say, this is a very Arsenal manoeuvre, this. You think Arsenal are the best footballing team in the country. They're one of the most stable footballing teams in Europe. They have a complete foundation, a sensational spine, and are on course to win the Premier League. Do you think that Regis Lebris has some overarching commitment to go and play expansive football against Arsenal? Regis Lebris should play how Arteta wants him to play against him. He shouldn't play 4 at the back or 5 at the back. He shouldn't play 1 up front. He should play an expansive game and get beat 5-0. Nah. You're sounding like Wenger. Remember when Wenger used to start crying when Allardyce done him up? You can't do that, man. You cannot do that. Sunderland deserve nothing but respect. Regis Lebris deserves nothing but respect. Granit Xhaka, nothing but respect. That Siddiqui in the midfield, absolutely brilliant. I thought that Lefay was dreadful. Got caught out for the goal. I thought he's lightweight as anything. But they're a team of geezers. That Bullard, geezer. That Hume, he struggled against Trossard at times, but he never stopped fighting. They were fighters, Sunderland, and they deserve respect. Also, Regis Lebris, with that 3-man substitution all at the same time. When he brought on a Dinger and that. Changed the game. Took Isidore off, brought on that Broby, and what happened? We've got to give Sunderland nothing but credit. Nothing but credit on this channel for Sunderland, I'm afraid, Carl. Big club. I like them. But I can't talk about Craig Pawson like that. I want to commit to Super Chats. I remember that amazing clip, with Ty and Claude. It's a Super Chat. You got to read it out. But I can't read that out. Christian says, I agree. 1,000% we were outplaying them, then backed off. And this is interesting. This must be an Arsenal fan. Christian's an Arsenal fan. He 1,000% agrees. I suggested that Arsenal were slightly cowardly. I suggested that Arsenal got slightly carried away. They backed off Sunderland. They allowed Sunderland to press out. They allowed Sunderland to ask too many questions. They allowed Sunderland to push Arsenal into their back line. They allowed Sunderland the opportunity to take a touch, chip it in delicately, ultimately get the ball in the box, make something happen, and then that beautiful acrobatic finish nicks a goal. It could have been over, couldn't it? It could have been over. Press them out. Press from the front. Get Bukayo Saka, press him from the front. And maybe that becomes now a question about the rotation. If they're knackered. If they're knackered and they can't press in the way that that Martin Odegaard wants them to press, if that can't happen, make some substitutions. The only substitution that came on was Mosquera coming on towards the end of the game, wasn't it? Who did he come on for? Eze. If you want that pressing, why are you not bringing on, Norgard? Someone like Lewis Skelly. Just bring him on for the final 5 minutes to press. Then you're not deep. You're not inviting pressure on. I think Arsenal demonstrated a slight vulnerability today that not many people saw coming from them. Interesting, though, Christian. Christian agrees that I was saying that. Yeah, just bring fresh legs on and carry on. Wanyeri for Eze, exactly. I completely agree, Christian. I absolutely agree with you. Beat City tomorrow and huge swing to Liverpool. Says no 3. Yeah, mate, of course. But equally, if they beat you, it's a huge swing to City. So it's all to play for tomorrow. What a game that is going to be. George Moss says, Arsenal fans are so entitled. For a team that's won nothing, where does it all come from? It's a team that's won nothing, but it's a club that's won an awful lot. That's where it comes from, I think. But you're on to something. Your point is half accurate. Also, when you're saying they're entitled, I don't really think that. Oh, you're saying because of the previous super chat when he was saying that Sunderland should have played in a particular way. Yeah, I do agree. I don't think that Arsenal. I don't think that Sunderland had any expectation to play in a particular way. The Regis Labrie had to play in a way that served Arsenal, that served Sunderland well. And that's what he tried to do, and that's what he did, and that's why he's come away with the points, and that's why he's an excellent manager. That's why Sunderland are one of the form teams of the Premier League. That's why you can't really score goals past Sunderland. They're just excellent. They are simply excellent. We're going to go back into the super chat here and see what Ostentatious has to say. He says, Gunners are teasing the others now, but a draw at this stage isn't good. We can only pray the front line is back soon. Now we need to beat Tottenham really badly. Yeah, you need to beat Tottenham, but you needed to beat Tottenham anyway. You can't be losing in North London derby. Can't be losing in North London derby and winning the league. Like, you just can't. So you needed to beat Tottenham anyway. I understand why Arsenal fans would be upset today. I understand why they'd be slightly put out because of that result, because of conceding in the last minute, and because the victory was there for them if they wanted it, and they couldn't quite get it over the line. However, what we also have to acknowledge is a point away from home at the Stadium of Light is not a bad point at all. It's certainly not a bad point. If you go to the Stadium of Light, particularly when you think of the form that Arsenal have been in, beating Burnley, light work, beat them 2-0. Beating Brighton, light work, beat them 2-0. Beating Crystal Palace, that Eberechi Eze goal, beat them light work, beat them 1-0. Beat Atletico Madrid, beat them light work, beat them 4-0. Beat Fulham professionally, get the 1-0 in the bag. Off the back of all of those victories, not conceding goals, breaking club records, you go away to Sunderland, night game, under the lights, in November. Not a bad point. It's not a bad point. And the only people that see this as being a dodgy point are people that I don't think they've ever really been in a title race before. Trust me on this one. I know what it takes to win leagues. And I can tell you that you win leagues via getting a decent point away from home occasionally. So yeah, there is nothing wrong with this. It's off the back of that run, under normal circumstances, you want to go away to Sunderland and win. But off the back of that run, it's just unreal. So no, I don't see it. I don't see it as a problem at all. It was a brilliant result overall for Sunderland, but I don't see it as a catastrophic result for Arsenal. I think it is a good point. I feel like football fans, probably not you lot. You lot educated, right? You lot educated, insightful. You often flex your analytical football muscle. You know what it takes to win leagues. You understand the game. But I do think there is this weird approach from a lot of fans that no longer sees the true value in a point away from home. Like, you can win lots of games, but you can't win them all. But what you can do is get draws here and there. Get yourself a couple of draws. And there is nothing wrong with that at all. We're going to go back into the super chat here. We are going to go to Kyle. Kyle has said, 0 problems with the setup, but don't call them brave and don't expect more from Arsenal from open play when 11 Black Cats are behind the ball playing for a draw. I think we're arguing about the same thing. I don't have any problem with Arsenal playing the way they do. I've never ever called Arsenal boring. If anything, I see boring as a positive. Being boring is being professional. Being boring and professional will win you league titles. You have never ever heard me say that. I will always dismiss anyone who calls Arsenal boring. I said something about Jeff Stelling doing it, which I shouldn't have done because we work on the same radio station. Jeff Stelling was moaning about Arsenal being boring. I said that it was a ridiculous thing for him to moan about. As if Mikel Arteta has some instruction or some sort of God-given duty to entertain Jeff Stelling. If Jeff Stelling wants entertainment, go watch a Marvel film. If Jeff Stelling wants entertainment, go skateboarding. Football isn't supposed to be entertaining. The entertainment in football comes from winning games. Arsenal would have far rather not been entertaining today. They were involved in a very entertaining game today. I enjoyed it. Every Arsenal fan would be correct in saying, I wish that game was boring, I wish we won it 1-0. They would have been correct. So I have no issue with Arsenal scoring. I've said it time and time again here. And you know when people talk about Arsenal and they say, oh, set-piece FC. I'm like, are you thick? Do not say set-piece FC and position it as being a negative. Being a set-piece FC is amazing. So I don't have a problem with the way that Arsenal play at all. I think it's brilliant. But equally, you suggesting that maybe you're annoyed that they've put 11 black cats behind the ball and are playing for a draw, yeah, good for them. Absolutely good for them. Listen, I'm going to leave in a minute because Chelsea are about to kick off. But we might be going live a bit later, so do me a favour, click subscribe. Make sure that you are subscribed because we might be going live straight after the Chelsea game. So you don't want to miss that. So go on, subscribe, put the bell on and all that. Hanif in the Super Chat says, it's a draw in November. League ain't done yet. Calm down. I think that's exactly what we've been saying, Hanif. I think we agree. My Tie says, people were actually serious. 26 points from 30 and you're moaning. I'll take that from the next 10 games all day. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I'm saying it's a good point. I'm not moaning. I'm saying it's a good point for Arsenal. Justin Nassam says, as an Arsenal fan, we take the result. 1 loss, 2 draws, 14 wins. Yeah, you certainly cannot moan at that. Right, I'm going to go inside now because I'm going to watch Chelsea. So I'll see you in a bit and we will be live a bit later on. So do me a favour before you go, click subscribe. Ta-da.